Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to part 9 of where I show all my vinyl albums. And last video I finished off with Japan, but I had missed one out which I filed with Japan, and that is David Sylvian's Brilliant Trees, which features the great single Red Guitar. So it's a pretty good album. So starting off with JE, and it's Jefferson Airplane Surrealistic Pillow, I can never say that, and this is the one with Somebody to Love on it and White Rabbit. This is actually a really good album. It took me a while actually to get used to it, but I really do like it. Billy Joel, Cold Spring Harbor, his debut album. This is a bit speedy. I think it was recorded too quickly, so it is a bit of a Mickey Mouse type sound. But I think the songs are very, very good. She's Got Away, I think, is great. Everybody Loves You Now. It's not a bad album at all. So I've got quite a few Billy Joel albums. So the next one is Piano Man, with Piano Man of course on it, and Ballad of Billy the Kid and Captain Jack. Next one is a Streetlight Serenade with Entertainer on it, and Street Life Serenader, Los Angelinos. It's a pretty good album as well. I think he went a step forward with this one, Turnstiles. This has got Angry Young Man Prelude, which I think is very, very good. New York State of Mind, Say Goodbye to Hollywood. I think this is the first of his very good albums. Well, I suppose Piano Man is as well. The Stranger, absolute classic. Oh, there's a couple of songs I'm not keen on, like Everybody Has a Dream and Get It Right the First Time, but everything else is stellar. The slightly jazzier, but I really like this as well, 52nd Street with My Life, Honesty and Until the Night. Very, very good album. Glass Houses, very pop, almost Beatlesque with You May Be Right, Sometimes a Fantasy, Don't Ask Me Why, Still Rock and Roll to Me. I think it's a very good album. And then this is a live album, Songs in the Attic, and it's basically a lot of the old tracks from the first few albums that weren't very well known, and I think this really does work well. Like, it's got Street Life Serenader on it, Los Angelinos again, She's Got Away. I think She's Got Away was the single, but a very enjoyable live album, a different live album, no big hits. The Nylon Curtain, took me a while to get into this, but I think this possibly is his best, with Allentown, Pressure, Goodnight Saigon and the fantastic Scandinavian Skies. The huge hit over here is An Innocent Man with Uptown Girl, Tell Her About It, The Longest Time, the title track, and a couple more. Leave a Tender Moment Alone was a single, and I think Keeping the Faith was a single in America, so loaded with singles. Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2, very, very good compilation. Both discs are as good as each other. The bridge, slightly disappointing and slightly more 80s sound, but there's a few tracks I really like off this. A Matter of Trust is a decent single, but I love Running on Ice. This Is the Time is a pretty good song as well. In Concert, and this is a double live album. It's okay, it's got Back in the USSR on it, Times Are Changing, and just a mixture of his hits. It's alright. Stormfront, and I think things are going a bit tits up for him in this. It's very 80s, from 1989, although there's some good songs like I Go to Extremes and the Downeaster Alexa. I'm never that keen on We Didn't Start the Fire though. It's not a brilliant album. And slightly better is The River of Dreams from 1993, and it's his last pop studio album, and this is the one with the title track. No Man's Land and All About Soul is a very good track as well. Like the cover of that album. Howard Jones, Humans Live, and this is the one with new song What Is Love, Hide and Seek and Pearl in the Shell. It's not bad. Howard Jones, the 12-inch album, which is just various 12 inches, and I think the one I really like off this is Like to Get to Know You Well. New songs on this as well, Pearl in the Shell, What Is Love. It's okay. And Howard Jones' Dream into Action, which is not as good as the first album, but it does have things going to get better, which is fine. Look Mama, which is fine, and there's one I really like, No One Is To Blame. It's a beautiful song, even though the single version is better. Tom Jones, and It's Not Unusual, and it's really just a hits compilation with things like It's Not Unusual, Green Green Grass at Home. Help Yourself is one of my favourites. What's New Pussycat? It's a good album. And we have Joy Division and Unknown Pleasures. Now this is a reissue, and it's not a bad album. It just takes a bit of getting used to, but yeah, it's fine. As is Closer. I think this is slightly better. I think it's just a little bit more accessible, but yeah, not a bad album. And then I have this compilation, which is Total from Joy Division to New Order. Now disc one of this is really good, and it sort of starts off with Joy Division. Transmission is a great track, I love Will Tear Us Apart, it's great. And side 2 is very good with Ceremony, Temptation and Blue Monday. Thieves Like Us starts off side 3, which is great, but as the disc goes on, or the record goes on, it gets all dancey. So it's a pretty good album, but the ending is not brilliant for me. Mickey Japanese, and half of this is Rockpile and the other half is his own band, and it's okay. He was the one that wrote Switchboard Susan that Nick Lowe covered. Kajagoogoo of White Feathers. I do like Too Shy. I hated it at the time, I do like it now. And Ooh To Be Ah was another hit off this, and Hang On Now. It's not brilliant, but it's not disastrous. Okay, Katrina and the Waves, and this is their debut international album. I think they had a couple albums in Canada before this, and this is pretty good. It's got Walking in Sunshine on it, and it's just breezy, summery pop, which I do like. Katrina and the Waves again, and this is Waves, and this is not as good, and I don't think there's any big hits off this whatsoever, but still, it's not a bad album. Kenny, and this is the one with the bump and Fancy Pants. I think it's on it, yes, and his other one on it, I don't think Julianne's on it, but yeah, it's fun. It's sort of post-glam. Nick Kershaw with Human Racing, with Wouldn't It Be Good, Dancing Girls, and I Won't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. It's actually not a bad album. And then The Riddle by Nick Kershaw, which is not as good, but it's got the title track Don Quixote and White Boy on it. King Crimson and the Court of the Crimson King, very very good album. One track which I can't remember the name of, is it Moonchild or something like that, which is absolutely shockingly bad. Gladys Knight and the Pips and Pipe Dreams, and it's a motion picture soundtrack I believe, and it's alright. I played it a couple of times, there's nothing wrong with it. Kool and the Gang as one, and this has got Ooh La La La, Let's Go Dancing on it, and Heidi Hi Heidi Ho, which I really like, and Big Fun. I do like Kool and the Gang. Their singles in the 80s were fantastic. Kool and the Gang again, In the Heart, and the big ones off this are In the Heart, Joanna, and Straight Ahead, which is an absolutely brilliant track. It's my favourite Kool and the Gang song. Kool and the Gang, the singles collection, which is really good, just collects all the singles. And Kool and the Gang again, and Cool Love, and it's the singles that are more ballads, which is not a bad album. The Corgis and their debut album with If I Had You on it, which is an absolutely brilliant song. The Corgis Dumb Waiters, and this is the one with Everyone's Gonna Learn Sometime. Don't know any other songs off it. I've had those two albums for ages and I've never really played them. Kraftwerk Autobahn, really good album, love the title track, excellent. And then Kraftwerk again, Man Machine, and this is the one with the model on it, which I think is really really good. I do enjoy those two Kraftwerk albums, that's all I've got of them. Chris Christopherson, Me and Bobby McGee, which is like a greatest hits type thing I think, and I love the title track and help me make it through the night. Landscape from the Tea Rooms of Mars, and this is the one with Norman Bates and Einstein a Go-Go on it. And we go into Led Zeppelin here, Led Zeppelin 1, Good Times, Bad Times, and Dazed and Confused. Bluesy, but I do like it. Led Zeppelin 2, and this is a double which has got sort of demos and all on it. And What Is and What Should Never Be, very very good. The Lemon Song I just do not like. And Led Zeppelin 3, the more folky album, and it's got Immigrant Song on it, Friends, Celebration Day. Again, it's a good album. Second favourite Zepp album is Led Zeppelin 4, Black Dog, Rock and Roll, Stairway to Heaven, very very good. But my favourite Zepp album is Houses of the Holy, and the song remains the same. The Rain Song, Over the Hills and Far Away, which is absolutely brilliant. I really do like that album. Physical Graffiti, another good album, double album. Custard Pie is great. The thing about this album is this one does take a bit of getting used to because it is a double album, but it is up there. It's probably the third best for me. Presence. It's alright, it's not brilliant. Achilles' Last Stand is very good, but that's the best track off it. And then we have In Through the Outdoor, which I think is actually quite good. It's a little bit more contemporary in sound, a little bit more sort of the time keyboards, but I do like it. I think it's a good album. Jonah Louie, and yeah, good album. This is the one with You'll Always Find Me in the Kitchen at Parties, which is a great little number. Jonah Louie again, and this one is Heart Skips a Beat, and this is the one with Stop the Calvary on it. You know, I do like Jonah Louie. He's a weird voice, but I do like him. Lighthouse Family, and this is Ocean Rain from the mid-90s. I think this is a really good soulful album. I love the title track. And we have the Lilac Time, and this is a very good album, very acoustic-y, quite folky. And this is a guy that used to be in Duran Duran, and his name escapes me, but it's a very 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 good album, and it was Ross Goodall that sent me that one. Lone Justice, and quite country, Maria McKee, but good album. Three more left. Los Lobos and How Will the Wolves Survive, and this is absolutely brilliant. I love it. Every track of it is very good. Los Lobos again, and By the Light of the Moon. And I think this is a good album too. I love the track One Time, One Night. I've got the single of that as well. Excellent. And finally we have Love Forever Changes, which is not a bad album. It took me an awful long time to get into this though. I don't think it's as good as a lot of people claim it to be, but it's still not bad. Okay, so that's the end of this one. The next one will start off with Nick Lowe, and there's an awful lot of Nick Lowe's to go through. That's why I didn't put it in this episode. So until then, I hope you enjoyed that, and I shall see you quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.